Hey guys, so last time you saw me, we were in a different room and at a way different angle. Had changed the filming setup for today, hope you don't mind. We were also talking about my Neil Keller competition throwing knife. It's one of my favorite knives. And during that video, I made a joke at the expense of a small folder knife and threw a little shade at those that might carry them usually. And I just wanted to sort of make a clarification and state that while this is my favorite knife, this is actually not what I would carry on me normally if I was out in the bush hunting. Absolutely not. This is much too large and was built with a very specific purpose. What I would actually carry, ironically, is something far closer to the size of that folding knife that was in the previous video. This is my everyday carry for hunting and bushcrafting, my EDC, and this is a clip point style knife that was made for me by a man in Australia who goes under the name Predator Knives. That's the name of his company. And this little work knife has served me a lot more practically than that throwing knife has. And the reason for that being that it has superior indexing. Now, what do I mean by that? Indexing in relation to a knife has to do with how your hand fits the handle, how it fits in your hand, where does it rest, and how well can you control the path and travel of that blade. This knife I just love for that purpose because the handle is actually longer and larger than the blade, and as a result I can get my big hand around it and get a good grip, and I have excellent control of this knife. And this is what most bushcrafters, farmers, or hunters would be carrying on their person when they're out. That's just fact. It's something like this. Some people might prefer one that's a bit longer and thicker, but rarely would you ever see anyone carrying this sort of thing. It's just impractical, aside from specific purposes, like small tree chopping, or if you're clearing your way through thick foliage with a sort of machete. That's what this is more akin to. This is the practical working man's knife. Now, I have actually had the opportunity to use this while I was out hunting. That was my purpose. That was why I ordered it. Was for hunting and processing animals. And I actually got to use this while hunting last November, and I got to hunt and process my first deer, and that was a very exciting experience for me, and further cemented it in my mind that you would actually want a shorter knife like this. It made working the job a lot easier. This gets the job done. And you can find these types of knives in all sorts of different configurations, lengths, and shapes. If you go to your local Canadian Tire, you'll see all sorts of them that are in this general size range. And which make and model you choose is completely up to you, but the biggest piece of advice I can give when selecting any everyday carry is indexing. You want it to feel comfortable in your hand. You don't want your hand to get sore while you're using it, and you want it to work, and you don't want the blade to skip and miss and limit your control over it. Anyways, that's just my that was just my little bit on hunting and everyday carries, and just what I think works best, and some tips on selecting one is indexing. I hope you guys found that useful, and until next time. Bye.